All right. Hello there. My name is Julia. I am a student at Nashville State Community College in the Occupational Therapy Assistant program. So, tonight we are going to be working on just evaluating your workspace in your study area to make sure that it's comfortable and to see any recommendations that we could do to make it even better for you. So, before we dive in, I do just want to make sure that you are okay if we record this session because my supervisor might need to review it or look it over. So, are you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. And then, just in case we were to disconnect, do you mind if I get your phone number from you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 217-720-1349.
Okay. And I'm just going to give you my phone number in case you needed to reach me.
Okay, perfect. Give me 1 second.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
So, it's going to be 908
Mm-hmm.
455
Mm-hmm.
1588.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So, before we dive in, do you have any questions for me that you want to go over? Anything, any concerns that you have?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and get started on your questions. So, in regards to your study area, would you say the space is easy to access? Is it free of clutter? Do you have a nice pathway that you can use to get to your workspace?
I'll just give you a little rundown. So to get to my study space looks pretty clear for the most part. I typically sit in this recliner right here. So there are times when I don't necessarily close the footrest on the recliner, and so I have to climb over it. So it could be a tripping hazard. I have never really tripped on it, but that doesn't mean that it couldn't happen.
Okay, all right. So, would you say this is like your dedicated study spot? Do you have other places that you like to study?
This is the usual spot that I sit at. I do have, um, if it's nice outside, I'll sit on the patio. I have like a rocker chair with cushions on it out there. And then there are times when I sit at the island in the kitchen, and sit on a bar stool to study.
Okay, perfect. So would you say you can move around pretty freely in this space? Do you find yourself tripping over things? How do you feel about that?
I feel for the most part I can move around. Like I said, I um sometimes have to climb over because I'm lazy and don't want to put the footrest down. Um so I'll climb over that, or sometimes my dog is at my feet or literally on top of me. So that can be challenging.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I would say I can freely move around.
Okay, good. All right, so let's talk a little bit about your work process. So, would you say you take regular stretch breaks? If you do, how often? And tell me just about what your stretch breaks look like if you do.
Um, I get up and move around periodically to use the restroom, to get a snack, um, or a drink, or to let my dog out. And those, um, I guess it just depends on when I'm feeling, like I need to do those things. There's sometimes that I can go, um, 1, 2 hours in between doing those things. It just really depends. But yeah, I'll get up, move around, and then get back to studying.
Okay. Do you keep frequently used work tools within reach? Is everything that you need close by to you?
For the most part, yeah. I I'll share my screen over here. I typically have everything sitting on this side table if I need it, or my backpack is typically on the floor, so I will dig into that. Or if there's something that I forgot, I'll get up and go into another room and get it.
Okay. All right. So, do you work on a variety of study projects during a study period? And what are the average lengths of time that you work on study projects?
Um, I typically work on one project at a time. And I can work on assignments. I guess it just depends on the how easy or difficult the assignment may be, or how lengthy the assignment may be. I could take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to sometimes a couple of hours working on things before I'll take a break.
Okay. And then, what is the average number of projects that you have going on at once?
Um, I have many assignments weekly, but I'll say right now I'm working on uh, like 3 or 4 projects right now.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to work posture. So would you say you work on a computer during the study period, or are you mostly working on like a desktop? What do you usually use when you're working?
I use a laptop.
Laptop, okay. Do you sit upright in your chair when you're working on your laptop? Are your feet touching the floor and is your back against the chair?
I usually sit in this recliner, and so usually my back is um, kind of like back a little bit. My feet are propped up on the leg rest. Um, yeah, that's typically how I'm sitting.
Okay. All right. When seated properly in the chair, is your head in neutral position? Or would you say it's like kind of tilted down? What does your head usually look like when you're looking at your laptop?
I typically have my laptop in my lap. So in order to look at it, I would say I may have to bend my neck a little bit to look at it. I don't know. Can you tell?
Mm, I mean, maybe ever so slightly.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's typically how I have it. Otherwise, if I'm sitting at the island or something like that, it may be a little bit better. But that's typically how I'm sitting.
Okay. All right. All right, let's talk about the workstation itself. So, do you ever use a desktop computer?
No.
Okay. All right. So when you're using your laptop, is it at eye level and is it angled to avoid glare?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. All right. Talk to me a little bit about your keyboard. So what does you said you have it sitting in your lap? Is that right?
Yes. So if you can see,
Mm-hmm.
usually I'm typing like this. Um, so
Okay, perfect. So it looks like the way you have your keyboard, it usually keeps your wrists in a neutral flat position. I don't see too much strain there, too much curving. Do you feel any pain or do you ever feel like you're straining your wrists too much?
no, my wrists usually feel pretty good.
Okay, all right, perfect. Let's see. Okay. So when if you ever are seated at a desk, table, or any other seating surface, is the chair adjusted so that your feet can rest flat on the floor?
Um, yeah, I can. Like this chair is adjustable. I can put the legs down so I can sit with my feet on the floor if I want to. When I'm sitting at the island, my feet don't touch the floor because I'm sitting on a bar stool, but I have them kind of rest on a there's like a footrest on the bar stool, and then if I'm sitting outside, I can put my, but there's no like adjustable thing for my legs.
Okay. All right. Would you say that your chair provides lumbar and upper back support?
Um, this chair in particular is not the most supportive. I'd say I often sit here and my back starts to hurt,
Mm-hmm.
specifically in my lower back, sometimes in my upper back, but particularly in my lower back. And so I do use this little pillow thing sometimes just tucked behind my back if I am having some back pain. Yeah, that's typically how it goes.
Okay. And then are the armchair rests adjusted so that your shoulders are not raised?
Yeah, they're pretty, the armrests are pretty neutral with my arms.
Okay. Does that chair that you're sitting in, does it tilt and control for changing of posture?
Yeah, so you can, I can raise the legs and I can have it go all the way back so I can like lay down if I want to, or I can sit all the way up. I can also adjust the neck. So, like, if I need a little bit more neck support, I can tilt it forward or I can tilt it back.
Nice. Okay, so there's a lot that you can do with that chair. That's great. All right, so we're going to move on to the last portion, which is about the lighting in your space. So, would you say the current lighting generates a glare on your computer screen?
Um, Not too bad. I would say I can see pretty well.
Okay. And then is task lighting needed where you are?
I typically use, I'll show you, um, I use this lamp right here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's typically my lighting. I'm not a huge fan of overhead lights. So I typically use that lamp when it's dark. During the day, if I'm studying, I typically just have the blinds open and let in a lot of natural light. Um, just because I'm not a huge fan of overhead lights, and I like to save energy where I can.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So it looks like those are all the questions that I have for you today. This was really great. I feel like I gathered all the information that I needed in order to go back, look at it, see some recommendations I can make for you, any changes that might benefit you even more. Um, so, what we'll do is we'll schedule a second meeting time over Zoom once again for us to go over those recommendations that I have come up with. Do you have any questions about what we went over today?
Um, I don't think so. You said that you'll come up with some recommendations for me. When do you think we can meet?
Yeah, so I currently have availability on Sunday, March 22nd at 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
Would that work for you?
Yeah, I think that can work.
Okay, perfect. So I will get you down for Sunday, March 22nd. We'll go over all those recommendations. And then I will also send you an email for the link. In the meantime, please feel free to reach out to me with any questions. I'll reach out to you if anything changes. And I really do appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks.